Good evening, and welcome to Course Heroes Education Summit. I'm Andrew Grauer, and I'm co-founder and CEO at Course Hero, and I am thrilled, and I'm humbled to be here tonight. I have been looking forward to today and this evening all year long, and I think it's an incredibly special occasion to be able to be here in a room filled with so many educators who embody the very best of what teaching is all about. You just watch some awesome professors right there. These 5 master educators, they represent, for me, what I believe a lot of us have experiences with educators who have influenced us and deeply impacted who we are, whether it's make us more curious, more passionate, make us work harder and be better prepared so we're more confident. Just make us more. For me, when I think about educators like this, they've impacted who I am, who I think I've become, and also who I want to be. One such educator for me is Dr. James Moss. Dr. Moss, he is a professor of psychology at Cornell University. And he taught me in my Psych 101 class. In a class that you can imagine, it was an auditorium, and it was stadium-sized. It fit hundreds and hundreds of students, hundreds and hundreds of them. And you can imagine, kind of like Dr. John Boyer, who delivers these great lectures with great experience, he delivered the most charismatic and energizing lectures. And he did it also in a way that was experimental and innovative. So this is like 10 years ago. And he would do simple things like very early on in YouTube's history, he would go and find a video that represented something of a concept he wanted to teach. And one example I remember was a video about a narcoleptic dog. So just imagine this. The dog is on a lawn, and he's just running around, and then he falls asleep. Like literally 3 seconds later, he gets back up and he starts running. He falls asleep. He gets up, he starts running, and he falls asleep. And it was just something simple like this that happened in every single lecture, it felt like. He did experiments on stage like this, and he would invite people to come up and participate. And this is in my freshman year, so it's fall semester. I'm at Cornell, so it's at Ithaca. If you don't know Ithaca, it's kind of cold, and it's really hilly. And I had just torn my lateral meniscus. And so I'm on my crutches, and I'm going to class over the hills, through the snow, uphill, both ways. But really, I wanted to go to class, and when I missed class, I was like, how do I go get the notes? How do I get those problems that I missed out on and being solved there? And Dr. Moss, he was one of my few teachers who made it so clear what success looked like and also how to get there. He created literally thousands of solved, explained practice problems. And he provided them. And he said, if you practice these and you understand them, you'll understand the concepts that I want you to learn in the class, and you will do well. It wasn't easy. It took a lot of work, but he was right. By the way, another one of our master educators, Dr. Neil Garg, who's teaching chemistry at UCLA, he does something very similar. And for me, this approach in Dr. James Moss was a meaningful inspiration for what a visualization in my head could look like for a better supplemental experience for students like me. Whether it's to bridge a gap in a time of need, to help students succeed, to make more classes be like the experience of Dr. James Moss. Something else that Dr. Moss did is he would try to find connections between his research and his teaching. And so he had a specific focus on sleep science. And for example, things to me now, 10 years later, I still remember things like, I try to get 8.5 hours of sleep as many nights as possible. thanks to his research and his teaching. So thank you, Dr. Moss. To me, these are just examples of the impact that great teachers can have on us. And when I think about that, I often think about, like, what does it mean to just be human? And I often think that walking through life, what I'm doing is collecting memories. And the collection of memories is who I am. And what I think great teachers tend to do is that they create these meaningful and memorable memories that they impart to us, just maybe in the form of a lesson. And that influences who I feel like I am. And I'm super grateful to educators who have done that for me. And it's awesome to be around you who have done that for thousands and thousands of students and impacted many lives. You become part of who we are. That's also what tonight is supposed to be about. It's about celebrating amazing, talented educators like you, what you do, what you represent, and also gathering you together so you can be together and your work hopefully can inspire other people's work and theirs to you. We have teaching faculty from over 40 different colleges and universities here tonight. We have our inaugural class of teaching fellows from our Course Hero and Woodward Wilson Fellowship for Excellence in Teaching. And we have about 25 amazing students from around the country who are here as well. Yeah! And that includes one of our student heroes, Lisa Misrahe. I'm so glad to finally meet you in person. I think your story is so incredibly inspiring to other student parents and would-be student parents. People don't know how common it is and how challenging it is for so many. At Course Hero, we envision a world where every single student learns and graduates confident and prepared. We think it's super timely because we live in a pretty complicated and challenging time. And I think it's incredibly important for us all to be educated and equipped to be able to solve incredibly complicated problems with probably creative and relevant solutions. But when we think about how do we make this vision a reality, we are on a mission. We're now on a mission to be able to identify, partner with, recognize, and celebrate great teaching faculty. The idea is, how do we capture these learnings, the wisdom, the lessons, and incorporate them into our platform and share that with more and more students? The idea is, in the future of education, if we're to think about it, we believe, our hypothesis is that educators, great educators, will become and should become even more important. I think a cool definition, a powerful definition of entrepreneurship is the movement of resources from one cause to a better cause. That stuck with me, and I think then it's incumbent upon us as entrepreneurs to move more resources to you, great teachers. That's our bet. This year, we estimate that we will serve on Course Hero over 300 million visits to the platform. So that means something like 1 in 5 college students in the United States will come to Course Hero to get unstuck, to practice, and to learn. That makes Course Hero also one of the top 1,000 most visited websites in the entire world, in any category, not just education. Why is that so exciting? I'm so excited about that because we now get to connect so many more students to great educators and great resources. This is my 12th year doing Course Hero, and if you can't tell, I am as excited as ever about the second decade of our company's life. And really a meaningful part of that is because I'm excited about this next step of this journey to be able to go work and collaborate with amazing educators. So thank you so much for engaging with us, for teaching us, and most importantly, for teaching and impacting so many people. With that context, I hope you have an amazing evening, and I'd like to provide just a quick introduction to the talent of tonight. We are thrilled to be featuring Sir Ken Robinson. He clearly doesn't need an introduction, but maybe one thing you didn't know, or maybe you did, is he is the most watched TED Talk speaker of all time. So over 350 million people have watched his video. Pretty crazy. And we're going to have a panel up here of amazing university leaders and professors to discuss creative approaches to student accessibility, to student preparedness, and to student success in higher education. And next up, though, we have the one and only Dr. Robert Reich. So, we all know that he is one of America's great advocates for education and empowering people with ideas, with opportunities. But you didn't know that he has his own personal fan club at Course Hero, because actually many of us, well, not me, went to Berkeley. And actually, of those graduates of Berkeley, multiple of those people actually took Professor Reich's class at Berkeley. He teaches one of the most popular classes at Berkeley. So our team was telling me that residents from Berkeley, from around Berkeley, they'll go to his class and they'll come in and they take lawn chairs and they set them up in the aisle just to hear him speak. Katie Schiff, one of our teammates, she just told me yesterday, it's simple. All you have to do to introduce Dr. Reich is tell the truth. He's a legend. On a more formal note, Professor Reich, he's made an impact beyond the classroom. He has served as former Secretary of Labor under President Clinton. He's also served in various capacities in 3 different administrations. And what else we can say about him? Well, the Wall Street Journal has just listed him as one of our nation's top 10 thought leaders. So I hope you have a fantastic time listening to him and to the presentations following. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a great time. So without any further ado, Professor Robert Reich.